Welcome back, this is CerealSnax, and I am playing on my original world of Subnautica, and I wanted to show you guys some of the things going on in this world. So, one of the things that they've added recently is, well, the exosuit was working at one point in time. So at one point in time, let me see if I can push it up. Oh, no, maybe I'm just going to push it down the hill. At one point in time, you could actually walk around in the exosuit. You couldn't do much more than that. Now they've actually skinned it. So they've got this really cool kind of seat inside there. You can see the handles that you would be gripping. The weird part is it almost looks like there's two seats in there, like one kind of smushed underneath the other one, which is really odd. I think maybe they just have a weird duplicate issue there. The other thing that's cool about this, of course, you go in the top, right? You can see the kind of hatch at the top. And of course, the power cell that's just kind of hanging out. And my power cell, as you can see, is actually down to 94%. Which I believe is because I was actually able to walk around in this thing at one point in time. It's got two arms. It's got one that's kind of like a drilling type arm, and then it's got another one that's just a gripping arm. And of course you can go inside it. Like I said, you can look around. That's one of the really neat parts about it. Obviously you can't see your hands yet holding the handles, but it's definitely coming along, and I just love the look of it. I think it's pretty cool. You can see like the jump jets in the back. I don't think that it actually says Altera Science anywhere on here. Most of the equipment in the game, and I'll show you one, actually says Altera Science on it. That doesn't. I've got a couple of my Cmos sitting here. You can see that they've added this box on it that allows you to access the upgrades. I don't know if I showed this before, but it takes 4 upgrade modules, and I'll show you guys that in a second. That's kind of the primary thing I wanted to show, aside from the exosuit, of which you can't do a whole lot to. I don't even know if I can hurt it. I don't even think it takes damage at this point in time, although the animation of the blade is pretty awesome. And let me see, do I have a repulsor? No, if my terraformer, I was thinking of, I think if you hit it, obviously it'll just like fly and fall over, and that's about it. Can I push this thing? A little bit. Oh yeah, it's falling forward. There we go. Oh. So not really useful yet, but it will be. The other thing I wanted to show you guys. Oh, that's weird. I have like a hovering. We'll deconstruct that. That was strange. I had a hovering base there. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is something that you need to spawn in, and it's called a BITER fish. I think I can just do spawn BITER, and you can see it right there. And these things are nasty. Whoa! He's biting on me, as you can see. Whoa! Took about 8% health per bite. Whoa! I got him. Did I kill him? I think so, because I want to show you guys this before we spawn a whole bunch of them. Yeah, look at that thing. Ew, what an ugly mug. Tons of teeth. He's like a little piranha. And mostly these guys are supposed to spawn in the jelly shroom caves and the underwater islands. Those are the only 2 locations that I think they'll be. Pretty easy to kill, though, as you can see, with one heat blade. They have done an amazing job on the art of this thing. It is really detailed. Look at that guy. Here, let me do this. And this, because I need to get a screenshot of that. So let me do print screen. Yeah, there we go. Maybe my thumbnail. Anyway, so yeah, so that's pretty cool. You can't pick them up or anything, which is odd. You think you'd be able to eat them. They might be kind of tasty, actually. They're kind of meaty. And let's see. Oh, there's my stalker Dave. So this is my original world with Dave, my friend Dave. Look at him. He's kind of spazzing out over here, and he's not entirely happy with me, but he's still hanging out. And then of course I have my Stuart, who's under here. He's just hanging out too. And Kevin's around here somewhere. Not entirely sure where. But anyway, my monster minions are still hanging out in my old world. Love this old world because of how much work I've done on it so far. But let's go in here, and I want to show you guys the Seamoth upgrades. So we'll climb up. Welcome aboard, Captain. And so last time I showed you the Seamoth upgrade, I do like the idea of having the Seamoth upgrade console facing this way so you can actually see the Seamoth, but it looks like they've got kind of a graphical bug. I was still able to actually modify this Seamoth, which is called Jitters. It's my little brown and gold Seamoth, and primarily because you get the jitters when you're in the ocean here. But essentially, the one thing I want to show you is these upgrades. So Now, last time I looked at this, I think they only had 3 upgrades, and I think there might even be another upgrade coming, which is kind of like a weapon for the Seamoth. They've talked about it on their Trello board. But let's make some of these. So one of them is a depth module, and I have the items for it. So we're going to make that. So essentially, you've got a depth module, which will allow you to dive deeper. And if you've watched some of my previous episodes, you'll remember how we weren't able to go below a certain depth. And I may have a bug here where it is just making something forever. I cannot make any of these. I was able to make them before, so that's very interesting. Okay, so my Subnautica was bugging out pretty bad. I am back, and basically this fabricator was just animating forever, so I think it was a bug. But we're going to make these really quick. So I made the Seamoth storage upgrade. We're going to make the solar charging module, and then we're going to make the power module, and the depth module. So if we look through this list again, I'll kind of talk really quick about these. Obviously, I mentioned this before, the Seamoth depth module is mainly so you can go underneath, I think it's 250 meters, so that you don't get the crush damage that they've implemented in the Seamoth. It used to be you could go thousands of meters, no problem, but now you have to have that. Now, the Seamoth power module obviously increases Seamoth power efficiency, so obviously allows you to go a lot farther on the power that you have. The other really cool one that I really like and I'm really looking forward to is the solar charging module, which basically invalidates the moon pool completely for multiple Seamoths. So what you can do actually is, instead of wasting your power in your base, is actually park all your Seamoths outside your moon pool, and maybe just park one in the moon pool, right? And then they all will charge up. And then, of course, you have the storage upgrade, which is really awesome, and I'll show you that here in a second. So let's go over to the Seamoth, and this is how you do it. Right now, they've got this kind of box that they haven't actually finished all the graphical improvements on. I'm looking forward to having like a cool kind of toolbox thing, or maybe they'll rework the entire Seamoth to fit in this storage. But if you go in here, you can put your depth module. So now it's 425 meters. Now, if you do multiple of these, then the crush depth will actually go deeper. So that's one thing to keep in mind. I think that is true for all of these. So the power module, of course, will increase the efficiency of the Seamoth, and the solar power, and the storage container. So if you had like 4 storage containers, you could have, oh, it says up to 4. Add additional storage container. Yeah, so you could actually have 4 of them. I think each one is, let's take a look. I think it's 16 slots. So let's, do I have to access upgrades? I don't think so. I think there's a way to, let's get in here. Let's enter the Seamoth. So I got all these cool things on it, right? Let's go over here. So obviously, probably the closer to the surface you park, the more solar power you're going to get. Let's see, enter Seamoth. There's a spot where you can actually access, oh, here we go. Here it is. Open it up. And yeah, so there's 16 slots here that you can put stuff in. So we could throw all these in there, right? And there's some peepers in there. We could actually eat these peepers, throw some first aid kits in there. I mean, you can just see how much room that you've got to store stuff. And imagine if you had 4 of those on here, you could really go on an expedition without having to take an entire submarine. So let's go back in here. So yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to show you guys today. I'm pretty excited about it. There's a lot of stuff in this game. I'm going to have to do some exploration. I know a lot of you have been watching my world tour, and we'll continue that. But I also like visiting this world just because I've accomplished so much here, and it gives us the opportunity to play with a lot of the stuff that we haven't played with before, like the workbench, and to really explore and have that kind of sanity that we don't have in the world tour, where I'm kind of frantically trying to collect stuff. So welcome back. It's CerealSnax. Yeah, and that's it for today. So if you guys enjoyed, please click like and leave a comment. I will see you guys next time. And there won't be anybody robbing my sea base here. So I feel safe in Subnautica. Thanks for joining me.